Good evening and welcome to the special meeting of the Putnam County Legislature called by the clerk at the request of the chairman for the adoption of the 2024 budget. Today is October 30th, 2023. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I ask Legislator Goldman to please lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. I'd like to recognize Legislator Crowley for the legislative prayer.
Let me be willing to see the big picture in all things, act in accordance with my best, most ethical self, and grant the benefit of the doubt to all those I meet.
Amen. Roll call, please.
District 1, Legislator Montgomery. Here. District 2, Legislator Goldman.
Present.
District 3, Legislator Anizio.
Present.
District 4, Legislator Nasarino.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Elmer.
Here.
District 7, Legislator Castellano.
Present.
District 8, Legislator Sage.
Present.
District 9, Legislator Crowley.
Present.
District 6, Chairman Yaki.
Present. On to the pre-filed resolutions. Agenda item 4A is the Department of Health. Peers influence peers. Alcohol and substance abuse, mental health services. To restore funding, it's an increase from $0 to $36,000 and to be placed in sub-contingency. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4B is Social Services Department Administration correcting budget lines. It's moving funding from contract line to payments to recipients line. This was a bookkeeping move. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4C is the purchase service recipients. It's correcting budget lines. To move funding from contract lines to payments to recipients lines. Also bookkeeping, it's to adjust fringes and revenue. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4D is the Office for Senior Resources. It's contracts, it's restoring technology classes. It's an increase from $0 to $6,000. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4E is the Health Department. Increase to revenue lines due state aid reimbursement of fringe expenses lines and decrease to expense accounts that should be eliminated from the 2024 budget. It's a difference of $17,247. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4F is the Probation Department. It's an increase in stock DWI award. It's a partnership initiative. The award received was higher than budgeted, so we're going to increase that amount from $17,500 to $24,000. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4G is the Bureau of Emergency Services. It's gasoline. There was an amount of $270 that was left in a budget line that needed to be zeroed out. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4H is the Board of Elections. It's for printing and forms. During our budget meeting with the commissioners, they asked for an increase of $100,000 to $150,000 due to the possibility of an additional election. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4I is the Personnel Department Senior Personnel Assistant removed from budget due to retirement. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Item 4J is the Sheriff's Department. Confidential Secretary, it's to restore the proposed salary increase of $3,000. Discussion.
Comment.
Yes.
This was requested in previous administrations, 2019, 2020, 21, and it was never restored. Just making that point.
For the confidential secretary?
Yeah, it was cut in 2018 and never restored to the full salary that it was during the Republican administration previously, and now it's restored fully because we have a different administration.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4K is the Sheriff's Department, Civil Division. It's to restore proposed deputy sheriff and the sergeant of in the position of sergeant in the Civil Division. Discussion. I'd just like to say that the sheriff came to the personnel budget meeting and he made a compelling argument for it, and I think it's warranted in that division. Legislator Crowell.
Can I ask for a roll call vote?
We will do a roll call vote. Any other discussion? Yes.
Just made my points during the committee meeting. Again, this was proposed during the previous sheriff administration, a Democratic administration, and denied over and over again. It was cut when the Democratic sheriff took office, and now it's being restored in a Republican administration, for the record.
Legislator Nascarino.
The sheriff made a compelling argument why he wants to restore this position. Legislator Montgomery is making this political. This is not political. He demonstrated the difference between the original job description and what this new position will incur under the new duties and responsibilities.
Any other discussion? Legislator Montgomery's comments are all political. We've never taken a shot at the former sheriff for the abuse of overtime that he could never get any control over, and we've never really patted our sheriff on the back for his responsible way of doling out overtime, always keeping it far under budget. So, thank you. I'm going to ask for a roll call vote.
Legislator Adenizio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley.
I abstain. My husband works in the sheriff.
Legislator Elman.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yaki.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item 4L is the coroners. This is an increase of 2.75% for a cost of living adjustment. Discussion. I'm going to ask for a roll call vote.
Legislator Adenizio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley.
No.
Legislator Elman.
Abstain.
You need a reason.
I campaigned against increases for elected officials, so I can't vote in positive.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yaki.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 4M is county clerk. It's an increase of 2.75% for a cost of living adjustment. Discussion. Roll call vote.
Legislator Adenizio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley.
No.
Legislator Elman.
Abstain, same reason as before.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yaki.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 4N is the Sheriff's Department. It's for the sheriff's salary, an increase of 2.75% for the cost of living adjustment. Discussion. Roll call vote.
Legislator Adenizio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley.
No.
Legislator Elman.
Abstain, same reason.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Young.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 4O, I would like to make a motion to remove this from the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
And I'd like to remove it to give the administration some flexibility in making an offer to potential candidates as Commissioner of the Health Department. Seconded by Legislator Sage. Going to a vote.
Legislator Adamizio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley.
Yes.
Legislator Elman.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yaki.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4P, the County Auditor. This is for a salary increase of $5,000. Discussion. As has been mentioned in two of the previous meetings, we have an auditor who does an incredibly good job, and it's about time that she's rewarded for her hard work. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4Q is to adjust the chargebacks of revenue and expenses. Discussion. This is basically bookkeeping. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4R, this is for the legislature for temporary help to cover an upcoming maternity leave. It's in the amount of $10,765. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4S is the planning department. This is $250,000 of municipal partnership initiative and $250,000 of community assistance program. It's to remove both from the budget and to offset changes and reduce the tax levy. Discussion.
Comment?
Yes.
I'm not in favor of this, so I thought this was a good program that the county executive proposed. Our municipalities are suffering. They do a lot of the work that the county's actually supposed to be doing and fails to do. So this would go a long way in providing those resources and funding for them to be able to continue to do those programs. And as it is now, the tourism that you impose on my district without any support and the sales tax revenue that you generate from that and don't give anything back, this would have gone a long way to help support that.
Any other discussion? I brought this up at Budget and Finance because we've got $500,000 here, and we have not set up the method by which we were going to distribute this money. And I think that we need to create that process before we budget the money. As far as tourism in Cold Spring is concerned, I don't know really what that has to do with this. Any other discussion?
It's obvious you don't know what that has to do with this, but I'd like to point out that any funding that we got in the past or municipalities got from the county executive's budget, there was never a plan for that either. Nobody ever knew how those proposals came about.
You said something about tourism, that we've promoted tourism over there, and you guys don't want the tourism.
Sure you have. Your county funding for that.
The town supervisor came here a couple of years ago and asked us not to promote it.
Yeah, you still do. So you don't listen to anybody, obviously.
I do. All right, let's have a roll call vote, unless there's any other discussion.
Legislator Adamizio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley.
Yes.
Legislator Elman.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yaki.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Okay, anybody have any other business? business. At this point, do we need to pause to do the calculation? 5 minutes? We're going to take about a 5-minute break while Michelle does the calculation. Make a motion to adjourn for about 5 minutes, so second.
Recess.
Recess. Oops.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Okay.
Sunny and Greg.
You're seated in the right spot.
Get away from here.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
I abstained on the civil, Diane. I abstained on the civil. Start going up.
They asked me, I'm supposed to.
Do I have to wait the whole 5 minutes? Okay. So back from recess. Item number 6 is I'd like to make a motion to offset the changes through the use of our fund balance. Such adjustment amount is required to offset changes to the tentative budget by the county legislature, including county executive vetoes not overridden by the county legislature, and including final adjustment for health insurance rates in compliance with the tax cap requirements of the state of New York. It being the intent of the legislature to comply with the real property tax law and levy of $46,212,312. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Roll call vote.
Legislator Admissio.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowell.
Yeah.
Legislator Elmer.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yako.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item number 7A. I would like to make a motion for the approval of the adoption of the 2024 budget resolutions. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley. Yes. Legislator Elmer.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yasi.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 7B is I'd like to make a resolution adopting the budget for the fiscal year 2024, commencing January 1st, 2024, making appropriations for the operation of the county government and establishing rates of compensation for officers and employees for the fiscal year 2024. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
I have a comment.
Yes.
Thanks. So I think it's important to look at each budget and each line item with the history that comes with it. And as much as I was hopeful for a responsible 2024 budget, for one that would represent the needs of the entire county and not just part of the county, this one is not. Some quick examples. From keeping funding in the budget to care for, feed, and house horses we neither own nor agreed to take on through any formal democratic process, to failing to fund basic county departments. Here are some minor examples found through the budget process. The health department, really? And the district attorney's office. What about the proposals before the county executive denied and the resolutions put before you for a second chance? The nursing department has remained understaffed for 10 years. Is this a place you want for your constituents, an understaffed health department, and for your employees in this department to face that stress every day? Basic needs at the core of county government, health and safety. I put before you a request that a 41-year veteran county employee has put before the administration for the past 5 years. One would think she knows what she's doing. It's one thing that the county executive denied the request again, but I find it more than odd that this legislature's own health committee has not only been oblivious to this request, but ignored my request put before them during the health committee hearing. And then again, with time to think it over or investigate before the budget and finance meeting. What are we doing here? An open democratic society does not conduct governmental issues behind closed doors. But that is what have you been doing? How would you feel if it were the other way around? All of you, over the course of several years, have once again failed to bring county government to the people by continuing to conduct county business behind closed doors, while also denying my budget requests over and over again to live stream meetings. No second, ever, from anyone. And from our own county health assessment, page 7, the need for mental health treatment and intervention continues to increase, especially for youth. High diagnosis rates for anxiety, emotional problems, and a number of residents feeling lonely, isolated, substantiate this issue. That's from our own assessment adopted from page 7. Yet, presented again with members of the organization coming before you over and over, and the county executive even visiting the operation, the Behavioral Health Hub in Phillipstown, you ignore a data-driven proposal with proven results. Is political animosity more important to you than your constituents? Or any constituent, even mine? What about the denial of $6,001.38, a pittance requested by the mayor of Cold Spring to the county executive for help because of the county-driven and advertised tourism that you impose on my district? And the same amount requested again by me at the Budget and Finance Committee meeting was ignored. So loud and clear, you might as well have been holding up signs that said, Democrats need not apply, no funding for health and safety for your district. Can someone explain the bizarre raises included in the 2024 budget? For example, the justification for the increase in salary for the deputy county executive that started at $123,375 adopted in the 2023 budget to, in less than a year, increased to $158,235. When the raise for this position was before us in February, along with the restructuring of the county executive's administration, I was in support of it. I've had almost a full year to assess the claim that this restructuring would, as the county executive stated, elevate the county. I now regret that vote on resolution number 30, and many of its details passed in February. What stands out is that this county has not been elevated, but there has been a combined effort of this legislature and the county executive to disregard requests to restore for funding for critical allocations for health and safety in the 2024 budget, and instead spend it on things we just don't need. Proof that this restructuring and these salary increases serve not the people of Putnam, but primarily the political agenda of this legislature and the county executive. Another example are the raises for the sheriff's command staff. Legislator Yonke claimed during the Personnel Committee hearing that these positions took a pay cut, and it took a whole year to adjust them to where they should be. According to who? These are not new hires. There's no set formula for what these salaries should be. What is different from 2018? We had the same scenario in the same department, but under a Democratic sheriff. In 2018, the salary for the confidential secretary to Republican Sheriff Smith was $71,000. In 2018, that salary was cut to $65,270, with some creative new naming to go along with it. That salary never rose to what it should be, to use your words, for the duration of that Democratic sheriff's term. And then suddenly, with a new Republican sheriff, and by safely moving staff from the previous Republican county executive's office to the sheriff's office, that salary was restored to its Republican status at over $71,000. A political prize for restoring the office to its rightful party. Keep in mind, I do vote with you 99% of the time. It's you who choose to vote against me 99.9% of the time. I'd like to quote Jewish rabbi and philosopher Abraham Heschel, who said, "The aim of any community should not be to conquer and possess, but to relate and pass on meaning, to discover and to understand." The shame is on you for not even considering what I put before you. Do you even ask yourselves, am I representing the whole community or just my own camp? I'll still be standing here for years to come, representing an entire population, that part of population that you choose to be oblivious to.
Any other discussion? Legislator Elmer.
This is my first year on the legislature, my first year on the budget process. And some things that I would have liked to have seen didn't take place, others did. That's just the way of the world, that's the way things take. However, I can't dwell in the past. I have to go forward. And this budget, with, I'm going to use the word compromises, represents something that serves most of the people. You cannot serve everybody. While Legislator Montgomery may have some history, I hate to say it, but that falls on deaf ears with me because I wasn't here. I can also tell you that your garbage situation, I've had a lot of constituents complain because here in my entire district, every household pays for garbage. It is administered through the town, but we all pay for private garbage. And the question, which was continually raised, is why should we bail out another town who can't handle their own finances? I'm sorry that that's negative, but that's what gets back to me. So overall, I'm pleased with the budget, and I will be voting for it.
Any other discussion? I would like to congratulate the county executive and his staff on their first budget. I think they've done a great job. Really hats off to Commissioner Lewis. It's your first budget. I think we worked well together, and I think we've accomplished some really good things for the people of Putnam, all the people of Putnam County. I'd like to thank our auditor and her staff and our legislative staff. These are long, late meetings. Everybody works hard, they're diligent, and I'm very thankful for all of their hard work to get to tonight. And with that, I'm going to ask for a roll call vote.
Legislator Adamson.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Crowley.
Yes.
Legislator Elmer.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
No.
Legislator Nassarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Chairman Yasi.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.